Hello, hi. Let's get quickly started with the DTP service testing. I have a tuner track locally configured, which is 19C PDB. This is the configuration of the database. And yeah, so the database is up and running on both the servers. So CTM status service. So currently, as you see, only there is one service called OLTP, which is a very basic connection service that is enabled as of now. So let's add a DTP service and see what does it do. Okay, add service. So basically, I would like to test the DTP service with the TAF PreConnect option. Whereas the PreConnect will be having two connections, two services, and these two services will be a backup of each other. That's why I'm creating preferred instance on node 1 and available on node 2 and vice versa for the backup service, so that the existing connection which is connected at first will be available on the preferred node. Okay, so as you see in the configuration, the DTP transaction is true, failover type is select, failover method is basic, and these are the basic configurations of TAF, and the TAF policy will be PreConnect. So let's quickly see to start the service. In the meantime, I have already added the TNS names on both of the nodes. Okay. So I have already added the primary pre-connect values for both the primary connection and the backup connection, okay, on both the nodes. So let's quickly start the service. Okay, the primary connection has been started and I am starting the backup service. Okay, so right now both the services are up and running. Let's quickly check the status. Yeah, both the services are up and running on the preferred instances. Okay, as the backup connection will always go to node 2 and the primary connection will always be connected to preferred as node 1. So the backup connection is nothing but as a shadow connection of the primary one. So let's trigger a query and let's see what does it do. We connect to a client. Okay, I have connected. So basic verification. Okay, my client connection is connected to instance 1 and this failure type is select and failed over, status is no. Service name, as I mentioned, it is the primary connection and the timing is exactly as matching as 12:44. Okay, let's trigger the query. Yeah, so I have triggered the query and I'm going to kill the node 1. Okay, let me kill the S1 process of node 1 and the query is still running as you see in the background. I'm just killing the S1 process. As you see, the client is still running, and if you query the status, the instance 1 is showing as 2. So the basic failover has been failed over from node 1 to node 2. And what about my query now? Is it still working or no? So let's give it up for a few seconds. Yeah, I think it is still blinking. So there is no error, no error shown at the application or at the client end. Okay, yeah, the status is yes. And what about the query result? As once the failure has been done, I think the TNS names will take care of the session where the select count has been fetched, and once it is failed over, it will retrieve the remaining records. That is how it should behave. Okay, so there is no interruption has been shown at the client end and there is no error. So the session has been transiently failed over from the node 1 to node 2, which means the actively which I have killed on node 1 and it has been failed over to node 2. So there is no visibility of what has happened to the server for the front end application users. Okay, I'm still doing a select star from a partitioned table. Let's see how much of record it got. Probably this is a lab instance, so might be there is a few 10 or 20 or maybe maximum of 30 seconds delay in fetching the record post the failover. But still The objective has been achieved. Let's wait for the results. So the one thing which I have been observing is the pre-connect has to be configured with two services. So one is the primary and the other one is the shadow service. So which will be idle. Okay, I think we have got the result and the elapsed time is showing as 5 minutes. So probably that is the only delay might have happened, but we don't see any, there is no visibility of any aura errors or any other exceptions at the client end. So thanks for watching. This is how DTP enabled transaction failover will happen, will behave. Okay, thank you.